Good evening, everybody. It's your girl Lauren Rei right here on What I Ice Radio, and it is Tuesday night. It is February. I don't know the days. I don't know the days of the week anymore.
I think it's the 6th.
It's the 6th?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's February 6th, 2018, and you are now listening to the Lauren Rei Live Show. Good evening.
Yes.
Jay, what's up?
Chilling. How we doing?
Woo!
What a weekend.
I still haven't caught up on
Life
since Sunday. Shout out to the Eagles.
Shout out to your Eagles.
We won
they
the
did
Super
it.
Bowl.
They pulled it off.
Yes, Super Bowl 52 against the Patriots.
Patriots.
And I went out afterwards to celebrate with my older brother. Shout out to Malik.
Malik was in the building.
And he was hyped as ever. He's waited all of his life for this.
My pops was pretty happy.
Yeah.
My brother.
So I was like, look, one guy, my brother, we came down here and it got real quick for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it got real for me when someone walked past me with the do not turn on red sign. I'm like, bro, where you going?
Right.
No, he was taking it home.
Yeah.
Like, he was going home with the sign.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
No, like he had a sign. Like, out of the ground.
And then after that, there was someone with a pole, like a light pole.
Yeah.
I'm like, where y'all going?
Yeah, why are you taking it home?
But it was great, though. People...
Was it?
I mean, we'll talk about that a little later, right? But shout out to the city. It was a good look. Well, the win was a good look for the city. Let's talk about that. But we'll jump into a little bit more about like the celebration and the media coverage whole situation. But tonight we have a really good show lined up, everybody.
As we always do.
Right? Like we have a guest tonight, and tonight's guest, he is an author and he's a poet, and he has this amazing book, ladies, that you all should read. His name is Michael Reed. He is also known as Just Mike on Instagram. The boyfriend book is Where Is It? You guys have
the tagline. What's the tagline?
The tagline is No More Boyfriends. Alright, everybody, so tonight's format is a little bit different, but you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing our interview first tonight, and then we have the rest of the recap, which is the Super Bowl edition that we're going to be doing on the second half of the show. So much to cover.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
We have Just Mike. He is Michael Reed. He is a poet and he is an author. He has a book. Well, he has several books, but this particular book that we're going to talk about tonight is the boyfriend book. No More Boyfriends is like the tagline of the book, which is honestly when I first saw the book, this is all I saw.
You was like, nah. You was about to get in it.
I saw No More Boyfriends, and I was like, wow, what is this about? So first and foremost, everyone, this is Mr. Michael Reed.
Yay! Welcome to the show, sir.
So we did kind of just talk about this off air.
First of all, this hoodie's dope.
It is hoodie.
I like the hoodie. Good Men still exists. I need one of those. Give me a little trade.
Ari, do you though? You ain't trying to cop nothing right now.
You never know.
Whatever. Anyway, so I found Just Mike on Instagram with like the people you should follow, right?
Right.
And then when I went on to his page, it's like all these posts of women that have this symbol. If you can see this little symbol right here. All right. You see that right there?
What? Yeah, I see it, but I don't know what.
But these women have this like tattooed on them. So I'm like,
Yay!
So I'm like, what?
That's better than the name.
I was like, so what's going on? And I was like, it's like a girl kissing a crown, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just got mine a couple of days ago. It hasn't really healed yet.
Okay, I see it. All right, yeah, that's dope.
And I was like, all right, now girls are getting tattoos. Yeah. I need to know what really this is about, right? So I was like, okay, the book, let me cop this book. Let's see what's going on here. So I'm not going to give it all away because I want you guys to pick up the book, but we are going to talk about some of the stuff that is in the book.
Okay.
So there's a lot of good stuff.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Also, I saw on his, he has he has an apparel line.
Can we wait to get to that? I got questions.
Well, I would say this: he has an apparel line as well, and some of the apparel says "No More Boyfriends." He has "Good Guys Still Exist." He has a lot of different things. Like he actually has one like, half crazy, half woman, queen,
half crazy, half woman, all women.
All women, yeah.
Half queen,
half crazy, all women.
Okay, I was like, there's a lot of fractions.
That's the one. That's the one that I like the most. But it's a lot of different stuff, and he has a series of books.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Very distinguished.
I was like, well, let me start here with the boyfriend book, right?
Sure.
And then maybe I'll go back. Go back. So let's get into it. First, let's just tell the people who you are and where you're from. You're from Philly, right?
Yes.
What part of Philly are you from?
South Philly.
South Philly, nice. Okay. So when did you actually start like writing?
2012.
Really? Okay. So what inspired that?
I had a tough breakup with the ex, and the powers that be said that instead of doing some of the things I was trying to do to deal with it, that I should write it out. So I kind of started writing.
And is that how you even started your poetry as well?
For sure. I started writing, and then as like an outlet, you know, I put it on the internet.
Okay.
People were just feeling it.
They responded to it very
They
well.
really responded to it.
So with this book, I mean, now I feel like this is a tough question because you got people tattooing the logo on it, but like, what kind of feedback did you get from it? You wrote this one in 2016?
Yes, I wrote that book. That was my fourth book. I wrote it in 2016. It's my most recent book to date. But I think the reaction behind that book specifically was probably one of the most difficult because it was a book that gave you like instruction. You know, for the most part, it used to be just poetry and prose, but that is like instruction. I have an idea and I'm trying to convince you. So you had to like pick a side with that.
I mean, it's kind of like a battle. Like, first you gotta get people to even like want to read the book.
Yeah.
And then you gotta convince them to keep reading the book, sort of thing.
Well, I mean, once you open it up, you're done pretty much.
Okay.
Because I do a good job of like walking you through it
Okay.
as a mixture between like, you know, straight poetry about concepts and then kind of breaking down what these things mean.
Okay.
And then like, you know, it's one thought. So it's like the whole, like once you know, it's like all about no more boyfriends. If you use that as like your guide, you'll get right through it in about a day.
Gotcha.
Cool. So now that you started to write in poetry, like what is it? Something that you're doing all the time now? Like, is it a part of your daily routine?
Actually, I haven't written a poem in like a year and a half.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I got the craziest writer's block in the world.
Is it lack of like inspiration, or is this you can't really put your thoughts together?
Well, truthfully speaking, I felt like I just took my basketball to this poetry gym. I dropped like 50. I laughed, and I'm like, all right, it's time to go home. And I just been home chilling.
Right.
Okay.
And yeah, like I'm struggling with that, like a mug, but that's it.
I'm sure your fans and they want more, of course. I'm sure you get responses about that all the time.
For sure. I mean, yeah, I mean that's the reason why it's a struggle, you know, because I could have just took my ball and went home, but now you got people. It's like, you know how when you walk off stage, they give you a little
encore,
right. And I'm like, man, go home. Right? No, my dad did it. Right? No, but it's like, you know, I never wanted to be a poet. I mean, I didn't even crown myself a poet. I put poems on the internet, and they were like, hey, you should write more. I said, okay. Then they were like, you should write a book. I did that. They said, hey, you should get up on stage and speak it. I'm like, I'm gonna come. I'm like, okay. So really, I've been doing what everybody asked me to do. But it's not like, oh man, I was 13 listening to Nicki D or whatever. Nah, man, I really was trying to find a wife, and the girl broke my heart, pissed me off. You
How
know,
old were you when that happened?
it was 2011. So that was what, 7 years ago, 27?
Okay.
27.
That's interesting that you say that because I mean I'm 30. I'll be 34 this year.
Yeah, me too.
So you don't see, and everyone knows I've said this. I proclaim this is that I normally date guys that are younger than me, and I right. So normally that age range of guys are not ready to be serious in serious relationships. 26, 27, like that
I'm
age
an
range.
alien for sure. I've always been.
So why do you believe that? Do you believe that some guys are just different? Like, why do you think you were different than what other guys want to do at 26, 27?
I can tell you why, because I didn't want what he wanted at 27.
Yeah, so I'm saying, why do you think you wanted that at that time?
Well, to be honest, I was out here in the mix, like really, really young as far as girls go.
Okay.
You know, I started having sex at 13, and I remember like once or twice that year. I meant like once or twice a week. You know.
With different girls?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I prayed about it. God okay. Right. But I mean, but no, like I was 6 foot and I was 13 years old. And I had facial hair and bass in my voice, and I was, you know, hey, I meet you on the train. I'm 16 and a half. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was just out here. My mom was, you know, 16, 18 hours a day out the crib. I knew how to cook because I raised my little sister, so I was a lot more advanced as a man. So it just made me run that race earlier. So by the time I was like 22, I had already did 5 years in the military, been in 25 different countries and seen all different kinds of women.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that it was just like, about 25, I was like, no. I mean, you know, how many stories you want?
Yeah.
I got Dubai stories, I got Thailand stories.
Right.
So the only thing after that is just to, you know, hang it up.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
I get it. That makes sense. It's totally.
So, why do you believe that men at that age, maybe in that age range, like where you were at that time, are not ready?
Because they're not doing. I mean, they haven't advanced in life. I think marriage and monogamy and faithfulness, as not even as a man, as a person, as a mindset. You know, as women, women usually follow that pack where they don't stray as far away from, like, you know, polygamy, misogyny, like those kind of things. As far as like your male, especially like a black male, you know, we got this phase where we kind of go off this holistic beaten path, and we's like, man, we want chicks and we want parties, and it ain't about who, it's about how many. You know what I mean? And you got to come back from that, and then get back on track. Like, okay, we're doing this now. Now, hopefully, like 444 and that whole thing might be like, you know, maybe this is cool again. But I don't, you know, Migos drop culture too, and now we back to popping champagne.
Bad bitches only.
Right. Well, whatever. I mean, so I say all of that to say, I'm not gonna say like I shunned that whole entire life completely, but I came in it and I killed it and I came out. Kind of like what I did with poetry.
No more boyfriends. What does that mean?
Now, I know that was going to be my. Thank you. So, before I get into the book part, what does no more boyfriends mean?
There's no secret sauce on it. It just means no more boyfriends.
Okay.
I don't believe in boyfriends for people.
You don't. So there's a portion of the book.
Do you believe in girlfriends?
Nah, I mean, you can change the pronoun.
So it's like either single or
married. Engaged, maybe.
Okay.
People always say assuming single married. You know, it's level.
There is a game. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, engaged at least. But I think if you look at engagement and you look at, you know, you want to be my girlfriend.
So
almost identical.
Alright, okay, so saying that there's levels to it and then going from single to engagement, don't you think that's a big level to jump to?
Nah, I mean, if we were having this conversation in 1948, it wouldn't be, because the word boyfriend wouldn't have existed. It's like we wrap ourselves up in this crazy contract for stuff that didn't even have to put in the contract to get, you know what I mean? We do all of these rules just to enjoy the pleasantries when we can have the pleasantries without the rules.
Right.
It just changes the finger pointing.
So do you believe that? So a lot of people say that you're single. You were single until you're married. Do you believe that?
Absolutely, 100%. Engaged. You know, if I see a woman with a ring on her finger, then I'm going to assume that somebody probably already put a deposit down. But everything without a ring is a for sale sign. If I had to use the, you know, home buying analogy.
Understandable. So do you believe that women should stop using the term boyfriend?
Yes, they should stop using it. They should stop wearing the boyfriend jeans. Anything boyfriend, burn it up, except for if it says no more in front of it. Well, no, I mean, the whole reason why the boyfriend book came about was really actually contradictory to the whole book itself. I wrote a book previously, it's called Dear Woman. And what I think Dear Woman did for the women who read it was I guess it gave them a higher sense of self-worth, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a woman's first defense against all of the BS that some guys trying to dish out, you know? So then it was like, all right, Dear Mike, I read Dear Woman and my crown's on and I'm so strong, but I can't find a date. I'm like, well, I got an idea. Let me write you a whole bunch of love letters and call it the boyfriend book. You know, because I believe that women need to be loved, and I believe that all of them, once they get that self, the next thing they want to do is give it away to somebody, right?
Right.
It's almost nature.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta give them some kind of buffer, because if not, then they're either gonna be like, you know what, Mike, I hate this sense of self-worth I have now, because it makes me realize that all of these guys aren't trying to compete. So now I'm disappointed because I had these high expectations for people and they don't fall through. That's like, dang. Well, you know what you're really going wrong with is that you're trying to give this to somebody else. So my thing is like, how can I give women like a timeout, like a breathing room, some moment where they can just get into something other than this perpetuated garbage called boyfriends. A lot of people don't want things, they want people. And they wonder why they get it all messed up. So my thing is this, like as a woman, you really don't know if you're safe with a man until he has decided that he sees himself with you forever and he asks your permission. You know, like it's no coincidence that, you know, for the most part, girls like taller guys, but he has to get down on one knee. You know why? You know, that's not coincidental. Like this whole thing, when it's not like, you know, clunk, let's get married, it's will you marry me? But until you get to that point when you witness that man ask you and, you know, do that whole thing, it's gotta be for free.
It's kind of like put it in stock.
Yeah.
Put it in investment.
Yeah, I mean, like I tell them all the time, I said, listen, you got, you know, you got your quarters, you know, in a slot machine, and each 25 cents is a little bit more of your emotions, and you just at this one machine with this one guy. And time, and it's all, you know, try as a woman trying to hit the jackpot. You know what? Making breakfast, you know, we're having sex. I'm coming over, I'm cleaning, I'm being loyal, you know what I'm saying? I'm sending pictures, hair, makeup, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
And then you just, at this point, you know,
waiting.
God is just tapping, hey, you wanna go grab a drink? No, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Well, this machine's over there, it's hitting you. No, I'm here.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why.
That's a good analogy.
You wonder why they stay with the same guy for like 3
They invested so much into it.
Oh my God, I'm trying to hit. Then they get all angry, start beating the machine. It sucks. That's a really good book, man.
So you did change my perspective a little bit with this, right? Where I hear what you said. Your wedding day. You want to know how I feel about a wedding day? The same way I feel about Christmas. Something that started off so simple that turned into something so ridiculous. That I sometimes don't want to bother with.
I already know where this is going.
And that was like super, I don't want to say it was like super deep for me, but it made sense to me. Because the older that I get now, I'm just like, here we go again.
Christmas as a kid was lit.
Right. It's something, here I go again. I'm spending all this money on this one day where it's supposed to be for something totally different. And now we've made this into this really big ordeal that I don't even really want to kind of like deal with.
And who are you doing it for?
And who are we doing it for at this point? So your definition of a girlfriend is exactly what it sounds. A girl.
I don't even like using the word.
It's literal.
But when you say my girlfriend, chicks get off. Nope. So I mean, I'll hear my homie,
right?
Not sis, because girls hate sis.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
But I have female friends. Some live in Philly, some live in the Philippines, and we all cool. And one day I'm probably gonna marry one of them, unless I get like a sleeper coming out of nowhere.
Right.
But I'm not like if we meet, date, flirt, get married, all of that in like the first 18 months of our journey, I'm probably not even gonna know you for real, bro. So I kind of plant seeds with people, and I water them every so often.
I want to get into Halle Berry. I mean,
all right. Well, I'll let you go ahead, and then I'll end it off with my.
Listen. I'm talking about like top 5 dead or alive of all time.
Facts.
Like first of all, how did you like connect with her? And how did that whole process? Like, how did that even happen with her wearing your gear? And for the fact that you could be like, yo, that's the homie. Like, can I be homies with her? Dude, what do I gotta do? Write a book?
Yes. Well, I mean, the crazy part about it is it was straight social media.
Okay.
I wrote a book called Dear Woman, and it was like a really great poem in it that kind of went like, you know, viral. And then, like, you know, since social media is so connected, like anytime somebody famous posts it, I'm pretty sure somebody that follows them, so they just start tagging me. Yo, and then it's like, you know, I got a notification, Halle Berry mentions you in a comment. I'm like, what? And then she, you know, she seen the post, and I guess it spoke to her, so she was like, hey, I just wanted to share this because I thought it was dope. And you know, me as like, you know, I'm just super thankful. I have like this DM, I said, hey, my name is Mike. You just posted something from my book. I would love to just send you a copy of the book. And if you respond, I'll have my assistant send you like a whole care package.
Right.
So that was the deal. She was just like, she actually responded.
That's crazy because I'm sure she gets like mad DMs.
Right. I'm sure she does too. But I don't know. Maybe she was nice that day. Maybe somebody else answered it and passed the phone to her. However, God happened. But she was like, hey, here goes my address.
What?
That was like in October. And then I sent her like all of my books, all of my shirts, of course, just everything. I autographed it all, sent like pictures, headshots, everything, right? Ridiculous. So,
You're stupid.
Just in case.
no, I did not.
Oh, how did that get in there?
Wow. Don't mind
Since you
them.
have that. No more bookmarks, right?
Free bookmark.
Yeah, we got free bookmark.
Just like, I do not approve.
It's a free bookmark.
I normally have to do that, Mike, sometimes, so don't worry about it with them. But go ahead.
So yeah, that was October, and then like I'm sitting in the airport in May, Fort Lauderdale, and I just see another notification: Halle Berry mentions you in post. And next thing I know, I open it up, and it's like, summer's coming, ladies. Let's shine up those crowns.
What?
Did she just dress the shirt herself?
Yeah, so she was like, hey, I was just doing a shoot, and they just wanted a bunch of different looks. I liked your shirt, so I just cut it up and took some pictures.
Did you shoot your shot? Did you shoot your shot?
No, I didn't.
Talking about no more boyfriends trying to be wiped up. Let's get wiped up.
It's not always about the shot, Jay.
Why not?
Why not?
How you gonna score if you don't shoot? Go in the gym, man.
Right.
He won. That's another big win right there.
I said that's a dub. I want the chip. I need that. You know what I mean?
But no, that's really dope. That all happened.
It's the universe. And then just for the conversation to continue.
I bet.
You know, I mean, that's a weird conversation when you know, it's just like, hey, how's your Sunday going? It's like, what do you mean?
She hit you with the head, big head. Yo.
Shit, imagine Sunday was Saturday night.
Right, it was like Saturday night. It was like midnight.
That's
Jesse
wild.
about
And I'm like, so it's like 9 o'clock LA time. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, why are you talking to me? And I'm like, wait a minute, let me pull
I think
over.
she was shooting her shot, yo. Recognize the signs.
Recognize the signs. What?
God is everywhere.
Oh,
Man.
the likelihood of you actually hitting it off with a person forever is a long time. But 90% of women want to get married at some point. But I mean, it's just not there. It's just, I mean, realistically, how lucky are we that we're gonna find the love of our life?
And also, like, women outnumber men in this world too. So it's like,
I mean, right, but even I think only 10% of people actually are lucky enough to find a person that's really gonna be with them forever and not let them down.
Wow.
So what I really want to do is tell people to change like the lens that you have, you know, because there's no marriage certificate on the back of that birth certificate. You know, you didn't come here with like, hey, you're a girl, you're gonna get married sometime in the late 20s, early 30s.
Here you
You're
go.
gonna have kids, and you're gonna live that same life. Like why are we driving all of these people through this like
One lane.
one door, man? And it frustrates them to the point where a lot of people will live a life that is a little less fulfilled than what they thought it was supposed to be. Simply because they fell in love with it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Simply because they fell in love with this idea of marriage.
Yeah.
And not only that, they didn't even stay single long enough to find some real shit. You know? They didn't
That's
stay single
key.
long enough to
Huge,
find.
major key.
But
Where can people find you?
Oh, yes. JustMikeThePoet.com. Where you just Google Just Mike. Google No More Boyfriends, the boyfriend book, pretty much anything. Mike Philly.
And where can they get the apparel?
Same place, JustMikeThePoet.com. No More Boyfriends, Half Queen, Half Crazy. Good Men Do Exist, they didn't drop yet. But I'm just trying to put a little positive energy out in the universe.
nice. This is all good stuff. I'm really
Thank you,
excited
guys.
that you were able to come through.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Yes,
South
yes.
Philly, stand up.
And make sure you guys are grabbing the boyfriend book. No more boyfriends, ladies. No more boyfriends.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, we could not leave you without doing a Ratchet Recap. The Ratchet Recap is a part of the show where we talk about anything and everything that is ratchet. So tonight's Ratchet
Local.
Recap. Yes, this is technically a local Ratchet Recap because we are going to be talking about
/sports/celebrities.
Yes, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, everyone. The major thing that really stuck out to me was the question was, who was the better coach that night? And
Clearly Peterson, because they won.
well, not to the people on First Take.
Listen. I can't do first take because they do that on purpose. They need a show to keep going. They need ratings. They're gonna have some ridiculous claims. They're not all gonna be right.
They all on the whole show that said that Belichick was still the better coach that night.
Absolutely not.
And I said, what game did y'all watch? They were like, he didn't get out coached. He could never get out coached. He wasn't out coached. And I was like, but they lost.
Doesn't make any sense.
So let's talk about a little bit about our boy Tom Brady.
Okay.
He got shut down technically. I mean, I don't want to say he got shut down.
Nah, he balled out.
Please, y'all, don't be one of these people that's on Tom Brady's dick. I can't deal with that. I can't.
He threw for 500 yards.
They still lost.
But he didn't shut down.
But that's not getting shut down though. Getting shut down is like passing for 100 yards with no touchdown.
Everyone believes that Tom Brady is the god of football. Then
nobody believes that.
Yeah, what do you mean nobody believes that? Everyone believes that.
You're saying everybody believes that. I don't believe that he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Absolutely. Hands down.
Greatest quarterback of all time, and he's one of the greatest players of all time, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but did he win the Super Bowl last night?
But to say
he's been there how many times?
8 times.
Okay.
That's a lot.
He's been there 8 times, but he didn't finish the deal this time, did he?
But that's not what he's saying.
So he didn't get shut down?
No.
They should have won. Did you not see that? Oh my God.
You're wild because you're outside of your lane. When you say someone to shut somebody,
my team won.
No,
they
didn't get shut down. That defense got shut down, but that offense did not get shut down.
There was over 1,500 yards.
The most ever in Super Bowl.
Listen, I'm just be honest with you. I'm not a Tom Brady fan.
I'm not either.
If you're playing basketball and you score 81 points, you're not getting shut down.
And so you score 81
points.
points.
But did your team win? It's about the win.
There's a difference.
Yes,
it is.
It's about the W.
Yes, but there's a difference between winning and getting shut down.
Yes, that's
shut down. He lost. But he
this is the Lauren Rei Live Show. And my opinion on the show is that Tom Brady got shut down.
Well,
you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with me.
Somebody right there. This is Voice Radio. Tom Brady did get shut down.
You don't have to agree with me, but
as Blue Rice Radio representative, Tom Brady did not get shut down. He just lost. You can't throw for 500 yards before at 40 and get shut down. That's crazy.
I think everyone.
You can ask your brother. He'd be like, he didn't get shut down. They lost. He didn't get shut down.
No, he got shut down to me. Y'all don't have to agree with me. I don't care. You can say I'm out of my lane. I don't care. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Never have been.
I'm not even a Tom Brady
never
fan.
Never will be. I just think people are just riding his too much. So Kevin Hart, everybody. Kevin.
I'm not gonna lie. Like if that was my team and I was at the Super Bowl at his status in life, I would be just as drunk.
So first of all, shout out to the fact that he took his entire team to the Super Bowl. That was great. They had like a whole box.
They had a whole box.
And when I said they were getting lit,
11 drinks. I'm with it.
He was at 11 shots for the night.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
Trying to get off stage seems about right.
So after the game, after the win, he got down on the field, which of course, we're gonna let Kevin count down the field. So what people
was like, yo, the team was like, yo.
So what people didn't see is when like the team was all on the field too, and they were kind of like greeting him. They was all dapping it up, having a good time. But then when it was time to present the trophy, that's when things changed a little bit. The tide changed. So Kevin tried to get up on stage, and the security was like, "No, Kev, I like you, but I'm not gonna let you. I can't let you up on stage." I think clearly, couple things. Number one, Kevin was drunk. He was fucked up.
Yeah.
But also because he wasn't part of the team. Yeah, that's probably the real reason.
Right.
So the footage of it just looks hilarious because it's this little guy talking to this security guard, and Kevin is wholly he is politicking. He but yo, you can see him moving his hands like I know them, they my boys, and he's like the security guard at the club, nah, I'm good.
You got the right shoes on.
No, you good. Not tonight, Kev. Look, Kev, I like you, but go on with that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's basically what it looks like.
Lose my job, fool.
And it's just such a, of course, social media ate it up, and they put music to it and all types of stuff. And then, of course, but Kevin, being the good spirit that he is, he made fun of himself.
Right, he made
He made a reaction video basically of what really happened, and it was great. But he also cursed live on air on NFL Network.
I love it.
He dropped the F-bomb, and he was like, "Oh," and he dropped the mic and just walked. He knew. Deion Sanders is one of the commentators, and he was cracking up. He was like, Kev, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I messed up. They were like, the FCC is gonna send you a bill.
Yeah, for sure.
For the most part.
You got that.
He's good. I don't know if they're gonna send him a bill, but they might.
Now, I do think he's gonna be in the parade.
Oh yeah, he'll be in the parade.
Yeah.
All right, last thing. And you texted me about this the other day. Should the Eagles go to the White House?
No. That it?
Well, I was gonna follow up and say that one of the captains of the team, Malcolm Jenkins, said no, he won't go. He was actually on CNN, and he said no, he won't be going. And the reporter said, well, do you have a message that you want to send to the president? And he was like, I don't have anything to say to the president. He was like, I'm going to continue doing the community service that I do and try to change, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the justice system, and advocate for that, and advocate for more education, in poverty areas and different things of that nature. He was like, I have no,
peace out.
To go to the. And so a couple other players have said that as well. The whole team hasn't confirmed that they all won't be going, but to me, this team is very united. So I'm almost positive that the decision will be if we all don't go, if one of us doesn't go, we all don't go.
Well, only time will tell.
Only time will tell. We'll see what happens.
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, let's do something. Every month should be Black History Month.
Ooh. I make Black History every day. I don't need a month.
There you go. It should be every month. But the Drop Night Show does a really good job spotlighting people in the Black History Month. So make sure you guys check them out on Thursday.
Yep.
Follow them. Yep, follow them also. And shout out to Mike Beyond, the
Petty King.
The Petty King with
Lord Petty of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, he has the Fire Die podcast.
Oh my God.
All right, so make sure you guys come back. We'll be here next Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on What a Ice Radio. See you guys, and never forget, not also wear your gates sometimes. They wear headphones. Peace.
Peace.